Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. Now follow 7 admonitions, which might number 9, if a distinction is made between the instructions in verse 24 and those in verse 25. However, froward mouth and perverse lips, verse 24, are the same thing. The eyes that look right on are identical to eyelids that look straight before thee, verse 25. Thus one will find 7 admonitions. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Put away from thee a froward mouth. Let thine eyes look right on. Ponder the path of thy feet. Let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. The first admonition is one of the greatest in either testament. If the issues of life are from the heart, verse 23, and the things which defile a man come from the heart, Mark chapter 7, verse 21. And a man must believe in thy heart to be saved, Romans chapter 10, verses 9 to 10, and must obey from the heart the Christian doctrines. And a man is basically what he thinketh in his heart. Is not Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, a much more important statement than the 10 Commandments? What is the difference in obeying and disobeying the 10 Commandments unless it's the heart attitude toward them? Read Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 4, 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 3, 2 Kings chapter 23, verses 1 to 13, 2 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 14, Acts chapter 7, verse 39, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. If the word heart is found in the Bible over 800 times, is not Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 on par with John chapter 3, verse 16, and Exodus chapter 20, Psalm chapter 23, Romans chapter 10, Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and Philippians chapter 4, verse 19. What are the issues of life? Matthew chapter 15, verse 19, Mark chapter 7, verses 21 to 23, Luke chapter 6, verses 43 to 45. Reading life as the object, the issues would proceed from the heart, creating the particular kind of life that surrounds the individual. Not only is this true, but it's also true that reading life as a subject, the issues which confront any individual are the product of things that have come from the hearts of other individuals. Thus the real issues of daily living are the products of men's hearts, and the crises which men face daily and yearly are the results of the things which were born in their bosoms. Wars come from within, James chapter 4, verse 4. The hell on earth, which man has created to bring in everlasting peace, so-called, etc., comes from his heart. Not only does a man create his own private hell from worry, bitterness, anger, frustration, envy, jealousy, and fear, but men in the aggregate create the nearest thing to hell the Christian will ever see in any age, contemporary civilization. The word heart is used in the Bible exactly as the word guts or backbone are used by contemporary men in normal conversation. Anyone understands the terminology perfectly, and any alterations of heart into mind will betray the reviser or translator as a dead Orthodox hypocrite who feels strongly about nothing. Normal men have strong feelings about self-preservation, religious convictions, security, politics, self-gratification, and their families. A man who professes to believe the word, or who at least devotes his life to translating and preaching it, should feel as strongly about it as he does his own family, or more so. See Jesus Christ's opinions on the matter, Matthew chapter 5, verses 8 and 28, and Luke chapter 10, verse 27. Heart belief, heart conviction, heart purity, heart conversion, and heart loyalty are requirements for those who wish to worship God in spirit and in truth. John chapter 4, verse 24. And God will accept nothing short of this. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 26. Out of it the heart are the issues of life, is one of the most profound statements that was ever penned. If it's true, then man is not a rational animal, he is a feeling animal. Secondly, what a man loves determines what he is and where he winds up. Third, profession without heart, devotion, means nothing whatsoever. Fourth, 90% of the world's great thinkers were men who loved themselves or espoused a cause to cover up their own sins. Fifth, if a man loves anything more than he loves God, he is an idolater. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Then this would be the first prime and foremost duty of a man. Backsliding begins in the heart, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 14. And whether if it be a man or a nation, Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 4 and 5, all apostasy begins within in the heart. If adultery comes from the heart, Matthew chapter 5, verse 28, then all the issues which arise from the following come from the heart: divorce proceedings, suspicious husbands, jealous wives, family arguments about these matters, lawyers' fees, subpoenas and summoners, date and times of court proceedings, distribution of property, custody of children, involvement of in-laws, loss of time on the job, nervous and emotional complications, etc., etc. The heart of man, therefore, is the source of his life, his activities, and his destiny. Keep thy heart with all diligence. God knows the hearts of men, Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 9 and 10. Searches the hearts of men, 1 Chronicle chapter 28, verse 9. Discerns the motives of the hearts of men, Psalm chapter 44, verse 1, and holds the love of the hearts of men to be of so great importance that the first and greatest commandment is, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, then needs considerable more comment on it than Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, or Psalm chapter 23, verse 1. If the heart is not kept with all diligence, then the man goes to pieces, his family and neighbors go to pieces, the town and the state go to pieces, and eventually the nation and the world go to pieces. But this is merely a comment on what has already happened, for how many people on earth believe that the issues of life come from within the heart. Practically on the personal level, the admonitions of verse 24 are to warn against distorting truth, exaggerating accounts, coloring accounts, intimating things which are not so, calling attention to self-slandering other people, injecting subtle falsehoods by flattery, etc. Let thine eyes look right, verse 25. Paul says it in another form in Philippians chapter 3, verse 14, and Job makes a perfect practical application in Job chapter 31, verses 1 and 2. The single eye of Matthew chapter 6, verse 22 is to be taken in the same way. And throughout the Bible, the shifty look, the wary look, the fluttering or winking eye, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 13, and the backward look, Luke chapter 9, verse 62, are to be avoided. The Septuaginta mistranslates the verse as, let thine eyes look at right things, but it's apparent by the Bible's own standard of self-interpretation, verse 27, that the meaning is as found in the Authorized Version 1611. What comes to heart matters about these divorce matters and everything, we can say also about those wars. That when preparing wars, having more weapons and military minded, everything comes within the hearts. Wars come within the hearts and preparations for it as well. Ponder the path of thy feet. Remove thy feet from evil. Verse 26 and 27. Again, the writer of the Septuagint copies out of the New Testament to make you think the writer of Hebrews is leaning on a Greek Old Testament. The deluded scribe Eusebius Pamphilus has written, "Make straight paths for thy feet." Hebrews chapter 12, verse 13. The last two verses admonish the son, verse 20, to look well to his going, keep his mind and his eyes on his own business, cease to meddle with anyone else's. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 17. Be careful how to walk and where he walks, and cease to walk. Verse 27, in the ways described in verses 14 and 15. Walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. Amen.